gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, my lords, ladies and gentlemen of Cowdray House, if I could just have your attention, please. Thank you so much. Good evening. It's 7 o'clock, and we are live around the world, live streaming via Cowdray TV and with partners Polo Line TV, the 2026 St. Regis British Open Polo Championship for the Cowdray Gold Cup. So, a very good evening to you. We've got several parts of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you know me. I'm Carlo De Martinez. A very good evening to you all. A big thank you for being here. Thank you for traveling here. I know a lot of you have come from far. I know a lot of you are busy. You've got some big games this weekend, this week. Lots happening going on in the polo world. But a very warm welcome on behalf of Cowdray to this amazing setting of Cowdray House. This evening, we have 19 teams coming forwards, and we are going to find out who will be facing each other with the leagues and the groups behind. And it promises to be another exciting year for 2026. We've got some hugely competitive teams. We've got some regulars, we've got some new faces, and we're really looking forward to seeing what happens and what folds over the next 4 to 5 weeks. And what a year to do it. For those of you that might not know, 1956 was the first time the British Open Cowdray Gold Cup was played. 70 years anniversary this year. I think that deserves a round of applause. 70 years of this tournament. And it has grown into, I would say, and I'm sure you'll all agree, Europe's premier tournament. And it is definitely one of the 3 pillars of polo. You've got the Argentine Open, you've got the US Open, and of course here in the UK and in Europe, you have the British Open. Over 30,000 spectators are due to come to Cowdray over the range of the tournament. They'll pass through the grounds, they'll have the iconic Cowdray Castle ruins behind them, and they will see over 40 matches, including the amazing quarterfinal stages, the semi-finals where you get 2 for the price of 1, and some of the best polo ever played, and then of course, the big one on lawns, the final. And at the heart of it, it's Cowdray. And Cowdray, I should say, is not here this evening, but a very, very special thank you to Lord Cowdray and to Peregrine Pearson for all of their support and for allowing us to be here, but also their continued support with the club. And it will also be streamed, because not only will 30,000 odd people come, we will live stream for free this year, all the way around the world with our international broadcast coverage via Cowdray TV and Polo Line TV, which is an absolute fantastic thing for the sport. There's Netflix documentaries now. There's Rivals Series 2 with polo in it. There's another Netflix being made by for Meghan and Harry are doing another one based on an American team. There's Jilly Coopers everywhere. It's only a good thing for the sport. And Cowdray is at the center of it all. There are sporting venues. There are iconic sporting venues. And then there are places like Cowdray. It just has that uniqueness. Places where history, rich heritage, tradition, here in the Cowdray and with the tournaments, it just seems to linger in the air. There's something very special. Generations of polo players have gathered here, 70 years worth and before, gather at Cowdray. And the name joins a list like a hall of fame, if you like, for our sport. There aren't many tournaments out there that people really, really feel that privileged to lift that trophy. And every player here knows exactly what it means to have their name on that trophy. Tonight, we welcome 19 teams, like I said, 19 organizations, hundreds of incredible horses, some of the best horsepower from around the world, some of the finest players on the planet, world champions, Argentine Open champions, US Open champions, and Gold Cup winners. And the journey begins here in this room tonight, because a team here will be the team that will be lifting that Cowdray Gold Cup in July. I'm going to quickly touch on the draw, but we're going to talk about the draw in a minute. 19 teams coming forwards, 1 league of 5, and 2 crossover groups with 4 teams on one side and 3 on the other. Each team will play 4 qualifying rounds. There'll be 5 seeded teams. You can see the 5 seeded teams underneath. And they are from the Queen's Cup. 3 wins and above have given us our 5 seeded teams. But more with Matt Sim, polo manager, later on the draw. They work their way through the qualifying stages. They work through all the way through to the quarterfinals, the semis and the finals. And it's really important because this tournament is where consistency, depth of horses is needed. You have to set your stall out from the beginning, because if you have a bad game, that really sets the pressure on you for the later stages. And we will see those big, powerful organizations. Will they hit it out right from the start? What kind of momentum will they gather? Will some underdogs get some wins and give them the confidence to push forwards? It's so exciting when you see 19 teams from all levels come together in such a big tournament. Talking about that, we're thrilled to see so many familiar teams returning as well as new ones. Karim, I was just talking to Karim, Klinova Circular. He's just told me that Klinova Circular has actually just made it a bid for a Champions League football team as well. So congratulations on that. I hope you have some good success with the football as you do with the polo, Karim. And well done. I just saw you in America competing in the US high goal, and you had a good run over there. Shoreline, so exciting to see them field a goal for this season. Jindal La Dauphina, brilliant to see Adolfo Senior partnering up with Jindal La Dauphina, and young Rufi Merlos joining them. La Hechicera, one strong team. You got Ned Hine, Lorenzo Chavan, Heta, wow, who won the Tripids Challenge as well. Ojo Caliente, so good to see another female patron, Ana Escobedo coming in, super solid team. Welcome to the Gold Cup for your debut. We've seen all these new teams now entering these tournaments, and they've been proving themselves in the Tripits, in the Queens, and in the Prince of Wales. The dedication, the passion, and the skill that all of you guys are bringing here to this, the sportsmanship, it really is remarkable. So from all of us here, myself included, Cowdray, everybody else on the other side of the pitch, thank you. Thank you for entering your teams. Thank you for all the dedication that you do with your horses, with your managers, with your coaches, the miles that you travel. Without you guys, we can't have 19 teams. So it's fantastic that polo is on the rise, and we've got such competitive teams out there. And talking of thank yous, a huge thank you to, of course, our title sponsor, St. Regis Hotels and Resorts. A massive, massive thank you. A brand recognized around the world for luxury, heritage, exceptional experiences, which just aligns beautifully with what Cowdray Park Polo Club is all about. Values that align with one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world. So it goes hand in hand that those two partner together. We're proud to have St. Regis as part of the Gold Cup family, and thank you so much for your continued support. And all of the other sponsors and partners we will come to very shortly, but I just wanted to say a thank you to St. Regis. And on that, let's bring up John Bunn, the chairman of Cowdray Park Polo Club, to say a few more words. John, if you wouldn't mind joining us just to say a few words. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Cowdray House. Not left me with much to say, actually, so he knows his stuff a bit, doesn't he? You know, it's quite a privilege to have the stewardship of chairman of this wonderful club, and you know, we've got an amazing team here in the office, especially. The grounds team are good, but the office staff, and we have last year we had a new MD, and she has worked wonders, and a few other people along the way have put in a huge amount of effort. We've got a wonderful suite of new sponsors. You've got 1901 Whiskey, and they've spent the last month building a brand new bar just for this occasion, so thank you and welcome on board. We've got, I think it's Saicho Tea, they're new, Chameau boots. We've got St. Regis, which Carl has already mentioned, but we have Safe Rock, and we have Hume Health, Hogsback Brewery, and Southdown Water, all new this year. So we really are making a difference in polo, and without your help, it would be a lot harder. So thank you. And let's have a great season, a great Gold Cup, and let's do the Cowdray family and Cowdray itself proud on these wonderful fields. And here's to a great season in 26.
Okay, so thank you so much, John. I think you that you've summed it up brilliantly. Sorry if I stole some of your thunder there. But I think this is a really good time to throw to a highlights reel from last year. We had such an epic 2025, so now's a really good time to have a look back to see what happened last year at Cowdray Park Polo Club. Welcome to Cowdray Park. The crown jewel that everybody wants to win. It is, of course, the 2025 Gold Cup for the British Open Championship. La Dauphine Scone, Kazakh, La Dauphine Marquez de Riscal, Fun Park, Gaston, Aureus, UAE, White Crane, Bangash, Kalatagan, Dubai, Jayanagiri, King Power, La Magdalene, Park Place, Sujan Indian Tigers, Signet Thai Polo, Valhalla.
Taking it back to the old school. Reverse bass stroke.
If that doesn't make you excited for this year, I don't know what will, because that looked absolutely epic. And just before I move on, just to recap on the history of this trophy, there's one more person I'd like to thank. For the last 2 years, she's been at the helm of managing director of this club and very responsible for driving the ship relentlessly and consistently and helping bring such gravitas of sponsors to the table. And a lot of people might not know that, but I think she needs definitely a thank you. Martine Hartridge, our Managing Director of Cowdray Park Polo Club. I don't know if she's gone. There she is. Okay, so quickly, let's remind ourselves of why we're here, what we're doing, what this is all about. 1956, I quickly mentioned it earlier. There was a team called Los Indios, that was the name, and then that's when it all started. All the names started going on there. You had J.M. Moreno, you had Harriet, you had a Heggie was on there in 1956. A special mention then to one of only 2 teams that were all British. This is a little fact, doing a bit of research. There's only 2 British teams that have ever lifted this trophy. The first one was Windsor Park, and that was 3 times in 1957, 1966, good year, 1969, and they had famous names such as Colonel H.P. Guinness, you might have heard those names around, the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, playing alongside Lord Cowdray, Patrick Beresford. There was a whole list of names within that Windsor Park, and they lifted that trophy, and they were all British. That's one. We'll come back to the other one in a second. In the 80s, the teams that we were talking about a lot were Tramontana and Southfields. The much-loved Mexican 10-goaler, some of you might not know if you're not from the polo world, but the polo community, like the Messi of polo, the late Carlos Cressida, who helped Tramontana win the Gold Cup 5 times. He's the only player to have notched up 10 Gold Cup wins. That is seriously impressive in his lifetime, 10 Gold Cup wins, to the point where his legacy is celebrated as we play our very first tournament is in honor of the Carlos Cressida Memorial Trophy, which is one of the first ones we play. We also have to thank Carlos Cressida because he shone a light and he helped bring over a very young 16-year-old Adolfo Cambiasso. And back then, that talented chap, who is now 51 years of age, became the world's leading player and is still one of the best in the world. And he is looking for his 10th title this year. It was 9 last year with Mia, winning that with a broken hand and all the big drama that we had in that final. It's down to the wire. And then this year, if he goes again, he will be on par with Carlos Cressida. And you know full well he's going to go for it. A history of the whole family now. Adolfo, a man who won the championship such a record times over 34 years. And you think about that in other sports. So from his first win in 1991 to his most recent victory last year, that is one impressive span of polo career. Entire polo careers have come and gone in 34 years. And he's still going, and he's still winning titles, and he's still winning Argentine Opens, and he's still winning US titles and Gold Cups. Truly impressive. In the last 20 years, a shout out to one of the most successful and highly rated women's players. I'm going to talk about the women for a little bit now. Nina Clarkin. In 2003, she won it with her, she wasn't married then. Maybe they got it on whilst they were playing with JP Clarkin. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out. Nina, 2003, for Hilden Sport, who won the final. There's only 3 women that have ever lifted the Gold Cup, the final of the Gold Cup. Nina, in 2003 with Hilden Sport. Kaylee Smith, who was in for UAE and for Her Highness Sheikh Ametha. And Mia Cambiasso, who won last year. 3 women. Amazing. And I mentioned it with the Cambiassos, the amazing family of Cambiassos, but also let's talk about Dubai and the Al-Bawadis. Ali Al-Bawadi, his son Rashid, Tariq, the powerful Dubai team, the unstoppable Dubai, who have been in 11 finals. 11 finals. And now winning 6 times. So if they go again, they will make it 7 wins. 11 finals and 6 titles. And one of our semi-finalists in the Queen's Cup at Guards this week, tomorrow. Amazing. I mentioned the other English team. So we had Los India Park Place. They finally did it. They'd been knocking at the door for years, and they finally got the 2022. They also won Cartier Queen's Cup last year, but they're not in the tournament this year. They got knocked out. The way it all goes round, it was unbelievable. That then was an amazing team of Josh Hyde, Louis Hine, Faku, and Fran. Unbelievable game that was. UAE versus Dubai in 2023. Brother against brother, with the Castanola boys split between each camp. I think that was the first time we'd seen them split. What a final. A young Lukin Monteverde, and that amazing goal. What an opportunity for young Kaylee Smith filling in for Her Highness Sheikh Ametha. It just never fails to bring excitement and drama, the Gold Cup. 2024, mighty Dubai took the final against La Dauphina Great Oaks. It was cousin this time. Cousin Heta versus Perotto, cousin. Both the best in the world, both erratic in the way they play. One's a painter and an artist. The other one is impulsive and erratic, but doing amazing things on the field. And yeah, Dubai took it 6 times now, 7 if they go again this year. And then last year, very quickly, La Dauphina Scone. They had all the drama with Kazakh. Great to see Kazakh in there as well. And then obviously a broken hand, the father-daughter combo making history, just like the father-son making history in 2020. So that brings us to this year, 2026. Thank you all for listening and still being with me. 70 years anniversary. Since then, the sport, though, has evolved enormously, hasn't it? I think you'll all agree. The horses are faster. There's no way of getting around that. The horses are faster. The athletes are fitter, most of them. The players are younger. We can all agree on that. The players are certainly younger. The crowds are larger. And the reach is more global, which is just amazing for our sport. The confidence that these younger generation have in hitting a ball 80, 90, 100 yards out to goal, the confidence in the way they play those horses is just, I don't remember that 20 years ago. Maybe it was, it's a different way. It's a different game being played. But what has never changed is the prestige attached to winning a Gold Cup British Open here at Cowdray. That always remains the same. So, this year a lot of lineups have changed. A lot of new teams, a lot of new blood, and also some consistent ones. Let's quickly whip through them before we stick them up on the board and find out who is playing who. Kazakh are back, and they were 2025 finalists. UAE, 2023 champions. Park Place, solid team. You'd expect them to go all the way. Depends how Hilario's feeling. 2022 winners. Castanolas split with Bartow and Dubai, the most successful team in the lineup now, Dubai, from paper. Heta coming off a huge US season with Lorenzo. Amazing, won loads of titles, finished just by clinching the US Open. Joining a new team, La Hechicera. Can't wait to see what happens there. Cambiasos are split with La Dauphina Marquesa de Riscal and Jindal La Dauphina. Sujan Indian Tigers are back. Looking forward to seeing Jaisal and his boys out there. The mighty Valhalla, they're back. Yes, the mighty Valhalla. There you go. We got a cheer. 3 years now, Emma. Congratulations, you and Justin, and based at Madam's Farm, which is great. Great for Cowdray. White Crane, local team again. Alexi, Calvo Ansari bringing one formidable team. If you look at that, that's Matt Perry, Polito, and Tommy Beresford. Black Bears returning after a little break. And boy, what an exciting lineup that is with the Pinello brothers. Can't wait to see how those two pull that team together and see what happens. Akasha, formerly La Magdalene. Now, they surprised us in the Queen's Cup a little bit, didn't they? They are very confident. Pablo turning it on when he needs to. Gaston, another local Trippets-based team. Fern Park, another British patron. Brilliant, that's what we need. Thank you very much to Jonathan Rothermere. I don't know if you're here, Jonathan, but thank you. Gerangiri, back for a second year. Rocci Torregatar, Gonza Pierre, Sapo. And debut teams, like I mentioned. Ojo Caliente, Clinova Circular, Shoreline, Signet Segavas. All ready to upset the apple cart. And that's what can happen, and that's polo. It's inches, it's millimeters, and anything can happen out on that field. It makes it very exciting, but it's wide open. Women players, Her Highness Sheikh Ametha, thank you. UAE team patron, always pushing on that front. Ana Escobedo, Ojo Caliente, and Emma. Good luck to you guys. And then the younger players, let's quickly mention them. They're getting younger and younger. We've got Leonardo Donoso, Lukin. I mean, Lukin is still young. He was so young when he started, he's still young. Perotto, he's getting older slowly, but he's still young. Barto and Heta, Lorenzo Chavan, 18 years of age. Rufino, Benzodon, Cruz, Heggies. The Pinellos, they're quite young. Everyone thinks they're older, but they're not. Merloses, the Hines, Louis and Ned. As much as they play so maturely. The ages, if you look at it, it makes it even really more exciting when you see these players establishing themselves for future years. In what other sport can so many generations play? Either brothers and sisters, or father and son, or father and daughter. Will Dubai go for another 7? Well, we'll find out. Will Adolfo make it 10? We'll be able to find out. Or will there be a new name here when we do this draw right now that will put a name on there? So, those of you that will be walking out on the final, you know what it will be. Some of you have done it already, but to walk out on Lawns Ground on finals day is truly amazing. To lift that trophy, to hear your names announced. But before any of that can happen, let's get Matt up here to talk about it. One more thing, though. I was going around before and I was asking people, I've spoken to several teams saying, what do you feel? Which group do you not want to be in? Which group would you like to be on? And most of them said exactly the same thing. Well, we don't really mind what group we get put in, which is polo language for please don't bloody put me in that group against the other one. So some teams are going to leave confident tonight, and some might need another drink from the whiskey 1901 over there. So can I bring Matt Sim, polo manager, up, please, to talk about the draw, and then we can get underway. Matt.
Good evening, everyone. It's about time we crack on with this then, isn't it? So, as you can see, I've already explained to a few people in the room, we have 5 seeds. They have been decided by the teams that have 3 wins or more in the Queen's Cup. Obviously, one of them would have been Aureus, but they're not playing here, unfortunately. So we end up with 5. Each of them are going to take the top spot in League A, Group B, Group C, Group D, and Group E. We've got a League of 5, Group of 4, Group of 3 that will play across, and Group DE is the same as B and C. So the same setup that you played at the Queen's Cup. And I think that's about it.
Okay, so we need some help.
Yeah.
Can I please welcome onto the stage Marchioness of Milford Haven, Claire Milford Haven. Right. Thank you, Claire, for helping us. Let's do it. So we're going to start with the 5 seeded teams first. We're going to move them up depending on which ball has been drawn. If you can stay with us just for a few moments whilst we do this, it's really important to concentrate, make sure we get it right. very much. Okay. Can I put it in my little spit bucket? Is that all right? Gaston polo team. Gaston. Oh, I need to know where. Well, let me take it off first. There we go. C. Okay, Gaston polo team is going into C. Thank you very much, Claire. Wow, they weren't lying when they said they were new magnets. There we go. There we go. Next. All the Tripits teams are coming out. La Hechichera. Okay, where's it going? E. Going in E. Oh, look at that. It's like it was meant to be. I just have to move it up. Okay. Thank you, Claire. Dubai. I might as well just wait for the next one. A. Dubai, A. I need an assistant here. There we go. Perfect. La Dauphine Marquise de Riscal. D. Okay. It's going to play with my OCD if I don't get them lined up. Akasha. Got to be B, isn't it? B. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there we go. There are 5 seeded teams, 3 wins or more from the Queen's Cup. Now we move on to the rest of the teams that I have here, all lined up, ready to go. Kazakh. Kazakh goes into E. So let me do that. I'm going to use 2 hands. What did we say? E. There we go. Fun Park. Into A. Fun Park into A. Valhalla. Whoop, whoop. Into B. Valhalla. Sujan Indian Tigers. Into E. Perfect. Sujan, where are you? There you are. Did we just say E? There we go. Double checking. UAE. Into D. With every name that gets put on there, the volume's getting louder. Black Bears.
Into B.
Oh, B for Black Bears. Nice and easy. B for Black Bears. Park Place. Mighty Borodin's Blue Army.
To D.
Into D. Park Place into D. With La Dauphine Marquise de Riscal and UAE Polo Team. Jahangiri.
Into B.
Into B. Jahangiri. Into B. B's filling up.
Cleanova, circular.
Cleanova Circular.
Into A.
Into League A. Whoa.
Jindal Steel.
Jindal Steel La Dauphine.
D.
Into D.
Shoreline.
Shoreline. into A.
Ojo caliente.
Ojo caliente.
Into A.
Into A. Anna, you're going in there with that one.
White crane.
White crane. Alexi.
Into C.
Into C. So we have, by process of elimination, one more to go, no?
Signet.
Signet, Segawa's polo team.
C.
Into C. Wow, there we go. Thank you. I think that is, I've got nothing left down here. You've got nothing left. That's 19 teams. We have 5 for League A, 4 for Group B. C, do you want to talk, Matt, how it works?
So, with the Group B, C, and Group D, E, they play across. So,
Hang on, guys. Just let Matt explain exactly what's happening. You will be sent a copy of that, and there are some on the side, but he'll just explain who's playing what and how.
So and the second will play the third. Likewise in Group D. So that's how those groups are all set up.
Great.
I think that's...
You happy?
Yeah.
Great.
I am around. If anyone wants to bombard me with questions, please be nice. But
So,
I will try and answer as best I can.
ladies and gentlemen, I've just got a couple of things to talk about just after this, but could you please say thank you to Claire, to Lady Claire Milford Haven, please, and to Matt Sim, polo manager. Okay, couple of minutes, and then you can all carry on. Let's just wrap this up. So, let's stay with me just for a couple of minutes, please. The draw's complete. Groups are set. The journey towards 2026 has officially begun. Matches kick off on Tuesday, the 23rd of June. I'm going to move out of the way in a minute so you can all take a photo. 40 matches to play, quarters, semis, and finals. Shh, please. Thank you, guys. I don't like doing that, but just there's important things to get across. And we're also live as well. Remember, people might not hear you in their living rooms. Players are competing for some amazing tournaments, amazing cups. Let me talk about that really quickly. The Carlos Cressida Cup that we talked about, the Tramontana Cup, the Elliston Cup, the Argentine Ambassadors Cup, the Midhurst Cup, which is one of the biggest weekends in the tournament, and then, of course, the Vichai Memorial, Siwatana Plaba Memorial Cup as well from the late Vichai. Again, those of you at home watching, I hope you've enjoyed the draw. You will be, and everybody, if you could tell everybody, it is free, live streamed, every single game, all the way through, and there'll be extra content and extra things coming on. Look out for some exciting things that Cowdray TV and Polo Line TV together, working in partnership, will be bringing to the table. 70 years this tournament has showcased the very best of our sport. The finest horses, the finest players, the finest teams, all enduring the spirit of polo itself, and that's why we do it. The polo community bring it together, horses bring us together, and tournaments like this bring us together. Not just players and horses, but also brands. We talked about them earlier. Look at that on the bottom there. Some amazing brands and sponsors that have joined us, and of course, a big thank you to St. Regis. I'd like to also wish those of you that are playing in the semi-finals and the final of the Queen's Cup, good luck. Tomorrow, semi-finals, see you there, and final on Sunday. I also would like to ask all the teams here, please don't go. Don't do your usual snap on your phone, draw, and get out of here. Get out to the garden and have a nice team photo, please, because we need to have a team photo outside Cowdray of Arse, because we didn't do it beforehand, because we didn't have time. And finally, I wish you, and I'm sure everybody here wishes all of you, good luck. And may the best team win. May some of the best horses grace us with your presence and horsemanship. And I hope that you do well in the tournament, newcomers, well-established teams, and I hope it's a fair fight. We can't wait to see the action that unfolds here for the 2026 St. Regis British Open Polo Championship for the Cowdray Gold Cup. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you at home for joining us. There is dinner at the clubhouse in Lawns if anybody wants to go and have a members' dinner. They are showcasing this right now, but if you want to go and have dinner, please do. Teams, go outside. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. I know it's hot, but that, I think, was one of the best draws we've done in a long time, and I can't wait to see how 19 teams unfold. I'm Carly Martinez. Good night. Thank you so much.